It's one of my favorite Onion articles. It goes, Existentialist firefighter delays 3 deaths. And it's so funny because, like, that's you. Are the other firefighters also, like, in existential crises? Or what do you think's going on in their brains? Hello?
Hello, is this Lyle?
Hi, hello. What is your name?
My name's Jack.
Jack. What up, Jack? Here we are. It's what, June? Oh shit! It's June 10th. It's been 5 years since I first started dressing up as a gecko and talking to people on the phone. I think maybe not exactly, but it was June of 2020 that I started doing this. So I didn't think that I would still be doing this, which is cool that I still am. And now I'm talking to you, Jack.
Well, man, on behalf of everybody, we all thank you for, like, the stuff that you do.
Jack, what's up with you, man? Tell me enough. I don't want to. I can't suck my own dick today. What's going on with you, Jack? How's life?
Well, I mean, I can't complain. It's like crazy times going on. I just went to therapy for the first time today, so
interesting.
That was cool, I guess.
Well, how was your therapy experience?
Well, man, it was like, an intake session, so we just talked about, like, why I was there, my life, shit like that.
Okay. I guess I'll say this is, this is more of I think a ponder cast than a advice cast. I don't have any advice for anything, but, or maybe I do, I don't know. But, do you want to talk about the things that you talked about in therapy on a public podcast, or would you rather talk about something else?
Man, we can talk about that if you want, dog. It's all good to me.
Hey, fuck you. We can talk about it if you want.
You know what? Fuck you, man. We can talk about whatever you want. What do you want?
Fuck you. Hey, fuck you. We'll talk about whatever you want.
Fuck. All right, I guess you win.
All right, cool.
Well, I mean, I just graduated from the fucking fire academy.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm a fireman, and it's been like a crazy year and a half, dog. Like I went to the military, then I went to officer school, and I'm a firefighter EMT.
Ooh.
And all that happened in like a year and a half,
Ooh. What was firefighter school like?
Man, it's like basic training, but like diet, But it was just like a lot of high intensity stuff. That was the real challenge. And it's like, I live in the South, so it's like hot. You got like 60 pounds on your back. You got like this gear on that insulates from heat, and you're just like steaming in there. You're crawling on the floor, and you're like, you can't see shit, and you're just dragging shit and trying to find your way out. So it's pretty fun. And then, there's also the fire stuff.
And, how old are you, Jack?
I'm 27.
27, just graduated. Now you're a firefighter. What made you want to decide to be a firefighter? I feel like, are most firefighters like around that age, or is that something you get into like right out of high school?
They usually get around high school. I was like mostly around people that age,
Yeah, so I guess that's why I'm curious. Is that what made you want to decide to do that comparatively later in life?
I'm trying to do the thing that you do, except like actually do it. I'm trying to be like an actual therapist. But I don't know. It's like a lot of circumstance. I came back after like army training and stuff, and my parents, they're getting old, and they're not from this country, so they have to deal with that topical issue, And I want to get my master's degree, so I was like, well, if I work at Walmart, I'm going to blow my brains out. And I want to do something that's important to people, but at the same time, I need time to like get experience. So so for my master's application. So I just work for 2 days and I'm off for 4 days. So that's the kind of gig that I wanted, you know.
Interesting. Okay, so you're a firefighter. Wait, which one? The firefighter job is the working for 2 days job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you needed some side work to do while you're pursuing your actual degree.
Correct.
That's so interesting that being a firefighter is like a part-time job. It seems like, I guess are there just not enough
part-time hours?
It's a full-time job with part-time hours.
I mean, it's 48 hours, like straight up. Like you straight up, like it doesn't stop. It's 48 hours, but once you're done, you're 4 days off.
So for 2 days, you don't sleep at all?
No, we sleep, but I mean, we get woken up by fucking alarms that tells us the emergency. You just like go to sleep, and then, or throughout the day, any moment you hear, and then like you hear this lady just tell you what the problem is. You go on a truck, and then you try to solve it.
Okay, so you're on call at the fire station for 48 hours straight.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, now I get it. All right, so it's 2 days a week where there's 48 hours where you cannot leave the fire station. And you can sleep, but if some shit goes down, you got to wake up.
Exactly, yeah, we have to respond to that.
What do you guys do while there's not shit going down? You just sit around?
I mean, we sometimes, it depends on the shit. We have to do like daily stuff to maintain the station, our equipment, the truck. We got to like train. And if you don't practice this stuff, you know, you're going to get like, you can't perform. So then like, you know, that's people's lives. But then after all that shit, like, yeah, I mean, you could be chilling, just like playing the goddamn Xbox, do whatever the fuck you want. Some people do side hustles, like on the computer with their free time, you know, a lot of different stuff.
So you're telling me next time I call 911 for like a fire, I might be interrupting somebody's crypto trading?
Yeah, homie. We're deep in Doge.
Interesting. What kinds of people are the other firefighters? What's their vibe?
Man, it's like a wide variety of different people. But like, you know, a lot of them are like, just like, you know, cornbread eating. You know, they're pretty traditional American. Some of them have like varying educational stuff. Like I have a bachelor's degree, and then a person in my same shift, he has a master's. Other people only have a high school diploma. You know, just sorts of stuff like that.
Mm. Have you? Okay, so I know it took a year and a half for you to do the training, but how long have you been at the job?
Oh, dude, I got the. No, I'm just saying it's like take a year and a half to do all the stuff that I did, like the Army stuff and this stuff. But I've only been on the job for like 7 to 8 months.
And how often have you like what kind of shit has been going down in those 7 to 8 months? Like, are you going to fires every week?
No, it depends on the fucking city. Like if you're in a bigger metropolitan area, there's like fires every day. But I live in like a smaller town, so it's mostly like medical calls. And honestly, dude, like we get like a lot of like fucking lift assists and like, you know, people. I had one where this lady was freaking out because she was taking like some CBD gummies or some shit, like THC gummies. And then her fucking mom like gave her some fucking like Vyvanse or some shit to fucking counter it or something, but she was freaking out. I don't know why the fuck she did that though.
That sounds like a Tuesday for me.
Yeah.
Why
but it was too much Vyvanse.
Yeah, well, I mean, taking a lot of Vyvanse and then, taking a bunch of, like, getting super, why would, I mean, I guess that this woman was not operating off of some kind of, like, medical theory, but why would Vyvanse help calm you down if you're anxious from weed?
Dude, I got no clue about that, though. I don't know. She just decided to do that, and we just had to do something about it.
So,
we were just talking to her and calming her down, and we just waited for the paramedic to come, and that's as much as we could do at that moment.
Okay. Sorry, I was interrupting you, but that's what I was going to ask. Is like, if I call you and I'm like, "Yo, my homie's tweaking on Vyvanse and having a weed panic attack," what do you do?
Well, we can't really do much because we do have like naloxone. We got Narcan. We can deal with opioid stuff. And like, if you have like a depressive episode, like we have oxygen in order to like, if you do like start hyperventilating, we could chill you out with that. We can make sure that, you got the right oxygen on you. I mean, but besides like any like mechanical issue, if it's like a psychological issue, all we could do is just like be there for you, tell you to calm down, homie. I mean,
what does a depressive episode look like? Like the type that you would call an EMT for?
Well, I'm telling you, like if somehow, like you have, like let's just say like you have asthma, you could do something like that. Like if something's obstructing your airway, we could do something about that. Like we could do a lot with like airway stuff. But like if you're just tweaking out, homie, like I mean, we just try our best to chill you out.
How's the job been for you? Is that like crazy and tough, or do you like that schedule?
Nah, dude. This is the only job, like the true only job that I don't dread going to.
Ooh.
It's probably like people say like most firefighters have something fucking wrong with them because like a lot of them like relish the job, and it's like weird to like want to go into dangerous situations. Like a lot of the people there, they sit down and then like, they watch fucking Netflix and shit, and they're just like, man, I wish there was a car accident right now. And I'm just like, I don't wish that, but like other people do, it's like kind of weird.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that doesn't make sense. I think humans, we want to, be doing shit. But why? But tell me why specifically you don't dread the job and why you love it so much.
Well, it's one of the few jobs where you can see the impact of what you do like directly in front of your eyes. I used to work for like the postal service too. I used to be a mailman, and I would fucking give somebody their fucking mail, and I give them the wave and all that, and I see them throw it in the trash because it was junk mail, and you're just like, man, I guess this is like, what the fuck am I doing it for,
I don't know why. I don't know why I love that so much. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Goddamn.
Yeah, but as a firefighter,
just you're a mailman, and you're so proud of your job delivering the mail, and you hand someone their mail and it's junk and they throw it away. That's yeah. That's just such a Charlie Brown-esque scene.
Dude, I feel like Charlie Brown all the fucking time, actually. I feel like Charlie Brown a lot.
Why do you feel like Charlie Brown a lot?
Because Charlie Brown tends to try his best, and whenever he has like a moment of optimism, fate happens to just push him down back to the state where he was before. Yet he trudges along, that's very Charlie Brown-esque.
What was the last thing you had optimism for that fate rejected? Man. Well, I don't want to get political, but it's like, the political landscape, I guess. Yeah. You can if you want. You can get political if you want. I don't really give a shit.
Well, my parents are like, they're what you call like, undocumented and all that. So that's pretty much that's the crux of it all. This it's a very topical moment, especially like in the state of California.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. I understand that. But I guess you can still. You trudge along anyway.
Yeah, it's just it's very discouraging, you know, when you work for a country and like 60% of it don't really care for your parents or want them to go home or some stuff like that. You know, it's a bit disheartening, but I just try my best, as you say.
Yeah, no, sure. I mean, what you as a firefighter, you work for like a county, right?
A city. Yeah.
A city. I'm going to assume, I mean, sure, you know, yeah, if you want to get bigger about it, you could look at it like that. But like, what about your city? Or forget about that. I mean, just the people who you serve directly. Do you feel?
Oh, that's why I try not to. That's why I try not to bring that stuff into me with the job. But when I go home, that's what I see, frankly. But
sure,
I don't work, and that's what I think about. You know, when an emergency happens, I don't think about how this guy fucking voted. I'm just like, this guy's in fucking trouble. I need to help him out however I can.
Right. Of course. I'm very curious still on the thread of you feeling like Charlie Brown all the time.
Well, but that's how I feel like Charlie Brown. It's like, I have 2 government jobs, and it seems I am wary of the government, especially in terms of how they view my family. And I try my best to do my job, and I do it well. But when I go home, I just, I get a little bit jaded about it, because it's really the crux of a lot of my problems in my personal life is that. So I have this optimism for working for my country and my city and helping people and, doing my best. But at the same time, that gets shot down by all the political happenings,
Yeah. It's fun. Okay, wait, now I don't want to get political, but I also kind of do a little bit.
Well, it's up to you, Gecko, man.
You know what? Yes,
it's always up to you.
You're right. Yes, you're right. It is. What's your name, Jack?
Yes, Jack. Yes, Lyle. Sorry.
Sorry, just bad at names. I've been thinking a lot about like now I'm gonna go on a philosophical rant. Oh God.
Do you, man? Do you?
Well, because I like loving America, or really like loving anything. I think inherent to like loving something or belonging to something, like true patriotism is being viciously critical of that which you love and belong to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, because you love it.
Because you love it. So by being a man who, in such a pure way, serves his country, and yet is critical of it, and feels betrayed by it. I don't think you. I guess from that perspective, you don't live in a contradiction at all. You live in, I mean, you're a patriot. You're doing what I think should be doing if you're a patriot.
Well, it's not just for, I don't want to be the stereotype. It's not just for country. I do it because it's a good thing to do, regardless of like, the whole country stuff. And, I do love my country. It's just like, I mean, if you believe life is suffering, which I believe it is, and that everybody suffers, you inherently have compassion for your fellow man. So you're prompted to want to quell that suffering as much as you can. And I know I suffer. So
it's so funny is forgive me, listeners, if I've referenced this on an earlier podcast, because I'm sure I have. It's one of my favorite Onion articles. Do you know the one I'm talking about? It goes, Existentialist firefighter delays 3 deaths. And it's so funny because, like, that's you. That's what you're doing. Every time you're going out there delaying deaths every day.
That's all it is.
Putting your death closer to now to help delay the deaths of others.
Pretty much is. That's pretty much how it is, man. But
so I'm trying to think here. Again, we can talk about you. Is this what you were talking about with your therapist?
Yeah.
Or you were just okay.
This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, tell me more if you want. I got this like kind of conflict you're having internally.
It's just sometimes I just get fucking mad at society because we deal with all this, and it's like greater stuff like too. Like we deal with all this categorization, and we just put ourselves in these boxes, and we hate ourselves for reasons that don't even make sense, that are just social constructs. But yet here we are in this fucking clusterfuck of whatever the fuck is going on right now that just makes everybody else suffer. And that's what I'm in the middle of. It's just like what do I do?
What did the therapist say?
Well, it was like the first session, so they're just like, well, we'll deal with this the next session. But she said like she understands where my anger is from. She gets it.
Sure.
But then again, I did pay her. So
yeah, it's true. If she didn't understand where your anger was coming from, I mean, it's not that hard, I don't think, to understand where your anger is coming from. Wait, hold on. Yeah. I'm trying to see if I understand I think I understand where your anger is coming from. I mean, yeah, you're in a crisis about like, oh, I'm working so hard to do all this, and then it seems like nobody really gives a fuck.
Exactly.
On like a global scale. Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Exactly.
Can I just from my personal opinion perspective, looking at your life, is like you're kind of doing the best that you can. I think one of the subjects I think about a lot when I just sit around and think or whatever is like the onus of the individual versus the onus of society and shit, because it's like it's like, well, you sit there and you want things to get better, and you know if you really want to go crazy mode, not going crazy, whatever, if you really want to do a bunch of shit, yeah, you can pick some cause that you have, and you can protest, and you can work on it, and you can vote, of course, and you can do all these things.
Right.
But there comes a point where I'm also big on like what is within my control and what is not. And there's also it's like when it comes to like societal issues, there becomes a little bit of a point where you're like, when do I throw up my hands? When do I throw up my hands and go, a lot of this is out of my control? And for you are doing like, to look around. I really hope, I'm trying to hone in on a point here, is for you to look around and it's everything you see is on fire, metaphorically. Yeah. And then you go, okay, in response to everything around me metaphorically being on fire, I'm going to literally go and put out fires. And I like that.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that about your life, Jack.
Seems like the point.
I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good response to fighting the metaphorical fires is to fight real ones. I think that's a good vibe.
It's a good point, Gecko man. Very good point.
Is there an Xbox in the fire station?
I mean, sometimes people bring it. I mean, I could bring my own PlayStation, but yeah.
What do you got on the PlayStation?
Oh man, people are gonna fucking dude, I play fucking Overwatch and Dark Souls. Those are the fucking games that I fucking play.
Okay, why did you think that people would be upset about that? Millions and millions of people play those games.
I don't fucking know. I don't know. I just thought so because it's just such a juxtaposition of two games. Just seems weird.
Overwatch and Dark Souls?
Yeah.
What is I don't really know much about Dark Souls. I just know it's like I know it's hard. That's what I know about it.
Yeah, like Overwatch is a very cutesy game and all that, and then like fucking I played like Bloodborne. Now I'm going to the beginning of like Dark Souls, like this gritty, like gothic, fucking fuck you kind of a game. But,
are the other firefighters also like in existential crises, or like what do you think's going on in their what do you think's going on in their brains?
Well, everybody has like inherently like a special human experience. So I don't really know what the fuck's going on, but a lot of them are like, I think they just go home, have a few beers, like fucking watch sports, and just like live with their families and just big chilling until like the next time they gotta come here. But who knows what they have in their own personal life,
How's your personal life going?
I have been fucking complaining for about like fucking 30 minutes, but like comparatively, like I live a pretty good life. Like I do. Like I have
Go ahead.
I got a fiance. I have a bachelor's degree. I have a kick-ass job. People say like it's one of the greatest jobs that people can have. I have the benefits of military benefits and these benefits. I actually own a home, and my parents live in it, and all that. I mean, prices are going up, and fucking I'm broke as shit. But like comparatively to a lot of people, I mean, I'm living good, But sometimes when
No, go ahead.
But I say, like, the point of contention here is just like, let me tell you the truth. I would give all the shit that I've ever done away, like all this shit. I would give it all away if my parents truly had the shot to be citizens of the United States. That's all. That's all they've ever wanted ever since they got here. I'd throw it all away. I'd sell it all.
Where can I ask where they're from?
They're from south of the border.
What is the actual? I was reading a little bit about this. Like, what is the actual process of becoming a U.S. citizen?
It depends on and now I'm talking about a subject that I'm not an expert at. So I mean, if I'm saying something fucking wrong, excuse me. But under their circumstances, where they came here, illegally and all that, in the traditional sense, they have this penalty of 10 years where they would have to go back to their home country, and then they would have to wait that out and then basically apply it again. However, since, I am a member of the United States military, I put 2 petitions to Homeland Security for a parole in place, which means that they'll take off that 10-year penalty, and for 1 year, they cannot be deported. But it's in that system, and it's going to take like a year and a half, and it's only, I still have a year to wait. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, so you as a military. Okay, sorry, hold on. I'm trying to piece together your life. You have a government job as a firefighter and then a government job in the military.
Correct.
Okay, and so as a member of the military, you are eligible to like petition for your parents to get citizenship.
Yep, that's basically what I'm doing.
And there's a bunch of bureaucratic bullshit that is keeping that in the system for a year, so your parents still are dealing with insecure status for like a year.
Yes. Yes.
But then what happened? And after that year is up, are they good?
They'll make a decision. You know, not all petitions are guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's like case by case basis. So, and who knows, like if you know, the current administration wants to change those certain qualifications and can make it either easier or more difficult. You know what I'm saying?
What? Yeah. What are they? You said it's a case by case basis. Like, do you have any idea what they?
They look for
off
like criminal background, mostly, and like, you know, like whether you are on welfare or not, the stuff you've done, whether you pay taxes or not.
Oh, sorry, Jack. Your phone fucked up again.
Oh, sorry. I said whether you pay taxes, criminal history, the stuff you've done, whether you committed any other crimes, stuff like that.
And how long have your parents been in the States for?
For as long as I've been alive, I think it's probably like 30 years now.
God damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
after that long,
life,
after really like that's crazy to me that like after that long, it's still.
I had to sign a contract for them to get a shot at it, and it's a shot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but if you aren't, like if your son's not in the military, like, what the fuck do you do?
I guess fucking get $1 million and then fucking do that.
What can you buy citizenship?
That's what the current administration is talking about. I'm not sure if it's $1 million or what. It's some sort of exorbitant amount. But he's been talking about it. It's like some sort of gold card or whatever.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you have siblings?
Yes.
How are they doing?
Well, you know, one of them is dealing the same situation as my parents, and then, you know, another one's just like trying to start their own life.
So you have a sibling who was not born here.
Right.
And then they have to deal with the exact same shit that your parents do.
Yeah, it's even worse because I talked to an immigration lawyer to deal with all this stuff. And he said if I wanted to petition for him directly, it would take 13 years.
What the fuck?
Yep. So apparently one of my parents would need to get naturalized first, and then he can get a shot at it.
When he says it will take 13 years, does that mean like he has to go back to where he came from and then wait 13 years?
13 years in the United States.
Okay, so he can spend 13 years in the United States, but he doesn't become but it requires 13 years to be a citizen.
Not a citizen. He would like get the same like petition, like parole in place. Like it'd be like that same thing, and then he would get a shot at being a naturalized citizen. It's not an automatic ticket. There's steps.
But during those 13 years, like motherfuckers can't
anything
just like
could happen
come
to him.
Anything can happen to him.
Yeah.
Damn. And you said your other sibling is like kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, they're just doing their own thing.
Are you close with them?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And your therapist didn't tell you anything?
I was talking to them about it, and they said I was justified in my anger, and I was telling them basically like how I'm motivated by existential spite about it. And I was telling them like, you know, I don't think this is a healthy mechanism to motivate myself. And they were just basically like, yeah, you're right. There's healthier ways to do it. And then we're going to work that through. Basically, they said like, you know, it's just an intake. So we're going to work through those negative thought patterns. You know?
I've never heard that word before. Existential spite.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that means to you? Existential spite?
Yeah, I'll explain it. Given the situations that I've been through where like all this shit piles on you and, you know, you're backed in a fucking corner and it seems like the fates themselves have a vendetta towards your life. Like, it just seems that the only way to move forward is to hate, like, the position you're in, your very own. You should hate the fates. Like, you should get revenge on the fates for doing this to you by living a good life. That's how I feel about it.
Okay, a couple things. One, I don't think I have a strong understanding of what absurdism is, but I think it's something kind of like this. But also, actually, what I was going to say before you explained existential spite is like, I feel like maybe this is just like semantics or whatever, but like existentialism, or maybe this is nihilism. Just the idea that there even are fates to spite. I feel like is not like, do you believe in fates? Like, do you believe that there are like forces that exist, like God or like karmic?
I'm agnostic, so I don't really know.
So you believe there might be fates that exist that hate you?
Sometimes it feels like that. It's kind of a ridiculous thing to think about, but sometimes it feels like that. Like, when you want to hate something and there's nothing for you to hate, so you just invent something.
And you said it is and you said you believe it's unhealthy.
Yeah, to be motivated by spite because it makes you hate everything.
Okay, that idea. The idea basically, I kind of believe through operating like this in my life and through kind of observing shit and talking to people in my real life and on this podcast and stuff, it might not be this binary, but like you can kind of act, I think, out of fear or love, and it's dynamic, and people are dynamic, and narratives are dynamic, and all that. And I've personally lived most of my, if you took everything I've ever done in my entire life, I'd say a lot of it is fear, for sure.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm actually thinking. I was gonna try to make a joke, and I was gonna say something like wiping. I don't know if I wiped my ass out of fear or love, but now I'm gonna challenge myself to decide if I wipe my ass out of fear or love. I think I wipe my ass out of love. I think I wipe my ass out of love because I love. Well, I mean, fuck, you could wipe your ass out of fear or love. You could be afraid that you have a stinky asshole,
colon
and that
cancer
other people,
or something,
and there are cancer, other people will judge you. You can be wiping your ass because
like sideways instead of like up and down,
Yeah. But you can wipe your ass out of love because you love yourself, and so you want a clean asshole.
Exactly.
Actually, yeah. I think I wipe my ass out of a fear of discomfort when I'm like walking around and I have shit in my ass. But you could also, but either way, you wipe your ass either way. Where the motive behind it didn't matter that much. Anyway, okay, fear and love, and your life is typically, I think, gonna be better the more you can operate from love and not fear. Although, again, in my personal life, I feel as though I have gotten to a lot of places that I have gotten a lot of good results via things that I did operating out of fear. And I was pretty miserable. I'm pretty miserable anytime I'm operating out of fear. I'm pretty fucking miserable.
Agreed.
And when I look back, part of me is like, and this is something I can only come to looking back. But when I look back, I'm like, oh, I probably could have gotten similar results if I did the same exact shit, but I operated from a place of love, you know? Because look, you're going to go to work and you're going to put out fires and you're going to try to live your best life and you're going to, you know, try to be a good boyfriend or, you know, exercise or be a good son to your parents, or you're going to do all the shit anyway. Like the actions themselves, they're like objective. So if you're going to do it, you might as well reframe it and be doing it from a place of, you know, I love helping people. I love my parents. I love myself. All that, you know, stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to get more on that train. I'm realizing this.
You're right, guys. You're right.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Despite the doing thing, I've always thought doing things out of spite was really fucking stupid. Like when you ever on Instagram and you see a thing where it's like a guy with a cool watch and he's like,
yeah,
and he's like you got a lot of people to prove wrong today. I'm like, what a stupid fucking reason to do anything, to prove someone wrong.
Yeah,
you know, it's
sure.
so fucking stupid, really stupid reason to do anything. But also, I think, like, you know, love can take a lot of different forms. You know, like it doesn't have to just necessarily be like
positive.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Existential spite. You feel that way right now? You're living out of spite, but you're trying to spite fate, but you don't even believe in fate. So you're trying to spite something that you don't even believe?
I spite in spite of your own circumstances. Like you hate, since you hate the position you are in now, that motivates you to try to beat it, you know?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, sorry everyone. I have to give some context real quick. Halfway, 2 seconds ago while we were recording, my computer shat out. And it still might shit out, who knows? But so I had to I spent like an hour fixing it, and then I called Jack back, and so now so in the split second that between whatever I was just saying before and now, there has been in real time an hour. But sorry, Jack. I know this is weird, but I'm going to try to get back into our conversation. Because the thing that got cut out that I wanted to tell, that I told you, but that I wanted to record was that I've personally, I would be I would be lying to you if I told you that I haven't in my own like personal life achieved certain like empirical outcomes via by being fueled by like hating myself or like hating my life or whatever, you know, like it would be wrong to say that that's not an effective fuel, but that I also kind of believe that I try to be like optimistic that it's that it is possible to achieve like effective results that you want by not hating yourself and operating out of some form of love, you know. It feels weird to get back into this conversation with you after a full hour of losing momentum, but I know you were talking a little bit about like going against like fate, you know. Do you feel like you're working in spite of fate?
Yeah, because it feels like my life, like the cards have always been stacked against me, given like my demographical makeup, you know, like, you know, I'm a first generation American. I'm the first person in my family who's like got a college degree, who's been in the military, who's been a firefighter. And it's, you know, sometimes I feel like I don't really belong in these places because I think of because let's just give you this instance. I was working with somebody like during the summer in construction, and they were like the same demographic that I was. You know, we were both laborers, but the difference is that I was an American citizen and this guy, he came from some Hispanic country. He didn't have like any citizenship or anything. He couldn't speak English. We only spoke in like Spanish, and that was the difference. Like, and I thought to myself, well, man, this could happen to me. You know, I could be that guy. And there's so many people like that around here in this country that's what I mean by like things are like stacked up against me, that it's like the fates. It's that circumstance.
I also wanted to ask, like, I guess with that operation from existential spite, like moving forward, what do you hope to accomplish out of that spite?
Well, that's why I'm like going to the counselor.
Yeah.
If I went today, it's because I know in my heart of hearts, like it's not, you know, it's not a healthy thing to do, but like I've done so much with it. Even like talking about it right now, it gets me like pumped up because it's like a self-defense mechanism, you know. When the cards are stacked up against you, and you're trapped in that corner. You're trapped in that corner. The only thing you want to do is fight.
But
if you fight all the time, you just get so like tired and defeated. And sometimes I feel like that, you know.
You know, maybe actually, what you just said brings up kind of a thing where I'm like, because again, I try to be optimistic that you can achieve good results via like being fueled by, I guess, more like traditionally healthy things. But what you just said was interesting because it's like, well, okay, maybe like I'll prove them wrong, or you know, I want to work in spite of shit. Like,
yeah,
it is an effective fuel when balanced. You know,
right.
You know, like maybe it's an effective fuel when to a point, and then after a certain point it's like maybe finding the balance. Maybe that fuel itself is fine, but it's like finding the balance of how much to hit that gas pedal, you know. Maybe that's it.
Well, part of me is afraid of letting that part of me go because it's been such a motivator. And like, and it's fucked up to think about that. Like me being like happy and healthier may make me less motivated. Like that's the thing that scares me. Like, what if I can't go anymore? You know, I get complacent.
I only have I only have my own data to work off of. I will say that like since I like for me like since I've been feeling better, I kind of care a lot less about like certain success metrics, which I think does lead to them going down. But I found new metrics to care about, and those metrics are going up, and like personal mental health and happiness becomes its own metric, and then that goes up, you know. But it is but you know, it is hard to tell. My strategy was that like I would hate myself for a certain amount of time until I got to a certain place, and then once I was there, I would try to learn how to not hate myself.
But the thing is that it never stops. Like you always want to. There's always a new thing.
Yes, there is always, of course, you know, there is always going to be a new thing, but I don't know. I was talking to do you have any idea? I don't know how you don't strike me as an extremely online guy, but do you know who Dr. K is?
Yeah, the healthy gamer.
Yeah. I was on his podcast like 4 years ago, and I was like, I don't know why, but I was watching a little bit of it the other day, and in it, I'm talking about and he's kind of like he's like a spiritual dude, and we were talking about like the concept of like there, you know, like once I get there.
Yeah.
And I was kind of saying like, I don't know if there is a there. And he was like, yeah, I don't think there is a there either. And if I went back on there, I would be more skeptical. This is all theory crafting, but I low key think there might be a there. I don't have enough data, but I low key think there might be a there.
Like self-actualization there or nirvana there?
No, nothing like that, but like for me, my version of there was like for the past 5 years, at any given time, if you asked me how I was doing, I would probably say like I'm okay or whatever, but I would only for like only sparsely would I say I'm doing great. And for the past, and only I'm dude, Jack, I'm literally like only as of less than a month ago, maybe like 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, could I, if you asked me how I was doing, could I say I'm actually doing great? And for me,
that's fantastic.
And I appreciate you saying that. And for me, that's there. And I never felt that way before. And now that I feel that way, I'm like, yo, am I there? But then this morning I was like feeling kind of like shit. And I was like, okay, but, and then I was like, okay, there can't be a there. Like I can't, there's no fucking way I'm like done with adversity or anything forever. Like I think just like all of that shit is kind of like, you know, depression or whatever the fuck is like inherent to the human experience.
Right.
But so I don't know, maybe there's not a there. But I was, at least for 3 weeks ago, at least as of 3 weeks, feeling like there is a there. So I don't know. I'm just, I guess, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
What if there like actually exists, but like it's like the same idea of like Buddhist, like Zen Buddhism, like nirvana, like you can always have it, but you need to get it. But if you search for it too hard, like it repels itself. Like you could have it like an oasis, like a cloud moving across the sun or something.
Yeah.
Like you can always have it, but if you search for it too much, if you try too hard to get it, if you just allow yourself to be there, it'll be there.
Oh man, no, I know what you're talking. I've thought about that shit because I know that that's the whole Buddhist thing of like desire is suffering.
Yeah.
So if you don't desire, you will not suffer. But I always felt that was so paradoxical. You know.
Yeah. The way I took it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the way I took it is that it's like an ideal. You know, that's the ideal of what you want to do, and of course, ideals are perfect, and we're not, but if you can like train yourself to do that, you can have like at least a little bit of it.
Oh yes, I like that. It's an ideal to be striven for, not necessarily. It is an ideal to be striven to go towards, not necessarily. It's not necessarily that Buddhism is saying like, "Hey, this is a state that exists." You know.
Not right now.
Hey, actually, Jack. Sorry, Jack, you there?
Yeah.
Actually, Jack, I don't know who was just calling you to tell you that you gotta go. But actually, I'm looking at my computer right now, and I've got like probably 60 seconds before it craps out again.
No, go for it.
So I'm gonna dude, I really appreciate. First of all, I really appreciate you letting me call you back after an hour to finish this conversation. Sorry, I know that was kind of annoying.
No, of course, dude.
But again, I really appreciate this whole conversation, man, and I hope I hope you get whatever it is that you're going after. And
thanks, man.
Man, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
Nah, I just, dude, for you, man, just I hope you stay there. I really do. I hope you stay there, and I'm trying to get there, you know. And to everybody who's like in a similar position like me, you know, just do your best. You know, I certainly empathize and feel for you, but you know, just as you said, just try to do everything with love as best as you can.
Thank you, Jack. I'll let you get back to whoever is yelling at you.
All right. Have a good night, Gecko.
Hey, thank you, Jack. Take care, man.
Thank you.
Yo, that guy was sick. Okay, hold on. I want to record this post-call thought, but my computer is about to get fucked. But no, that conversation was awesome. I liked that conversation so much that I called Jack back after an hour so we could finish it. But I hope he's doing all right. And I don't know if there's a there. I don't have enough data. I've only felt mentally healthy for 3 weeks, so I don't know if there's a there yet. But we'll see. We'll see how long it goes. I'm optimistic. I think there might be a there. I don't know. I don't know anything. All right, my computer's about to die. Okay, hold on. Hello, folks. It's Lyle here. That's the end of this episode. But get this. I'm releasing a bonus episode this week. That's right, an entire extra hour of the podcast that you can listen to by becoming a premium member of Therapy Gecko over at therapygecko.supercast.com. Supercast subscribers get access to bonus episodes. They get a completely ad-free podcast feed of the regular show. They get recordings from my live shows, members-only streams, and they help support my ability to continue doing this podcast. So here's a clip from this week's members-only bonus episode. Good luck watching a bunch more dogs die. I hope that... I was gonna say I hope you enjoy it, but whatever. I hope that it doesn't fuck you up too much. But I assume that if you go to be a veterinarian, but maybe there's a part of you that likes to watch dogs die because you go into it knowing that you're gonna do that a lot. So I wanted to leave room to wish that upon you if that's what you wanted. If that makes any sense.
It does make sense, Gecko.
If you want to hear this full conversation, you can sign up to become a premium member at therapygecko.supercast.com or find the link in the episode description. That's therapygecko.supercast.com. All right, I have nothing else to say.